Greetings, my name is Chris Teesdale, and I'm the audio and video coordinator and lifelong member here at Central Christian Church, Disciples of Christ in Lexington, Kentucky. And I wanted to make a video to give some tips to those of you that are looking at starting a streaming ministry of your worship services. We've been doing streaming of our 11 o'clock morning worship for 2.5 years now. And in recent events, a lot of churches are having to cancel worship services and stream online. And in these times, I've noticed that there's some tips that I could probably help others. And so I want to offer that to you. So I hope that the 3 things we're going to talk about today, audio, video, and licensing, will help you all at your church as you plan to move forward. I think we're going to be doing this for some time now. And I hope that when this passes and we're back worshiping with our congregation in our sanctuaries, that you'll continue to streaming. I think you'll find it's a worthwhile ministry. We've been really glad to be able to do it for this long. So the most important aspect of streaming to me is actually going to be the audio. A lot of people put that kind of aside and focus on the video, but we've found that people are much more appreciative of having good audio than they are of having a high definition video. So what we do, I'm going to show you real quick, is we will take the sound out of our mixing board that our sound engineer, which is me, I do the sound and the video at the same time. I run it out of an auxiliary out channel or monitor you could do out of my mixing board, and then get it into my device that's doing the video. So in my case, we're using iOS devices. And this is my hub that I use, and I have a monitor and all that, but I run it through right here with a lightning bolt, and it gives me a direct feed exactly as it's coming through. Now, I'm making this video with you. I have a really nice microphone attached to my phone that makes a pretty good recording, but in this space, it probably has an echo. Well, when you run sound directly in, you eliminate that echo, and I saw a lot of churches this past week were trying to just depend on having the main speakers that may be really far away from the recording device for sound, and it just didn't sound good, and it was hard to listen to, and you want to make it the best experience possible. So that would be my first tip for you, would be to really get the sound quality improved and make it as best as you can. One part of this that gets forgotten about is how to get sound from there, because you could go to a store and buy a bunch of different cables, but trying to get all the components. So here's the easy fix to that. I don't know if I can reach it and get it in camera, but get a recording interface. All right, yeah, I have too many cables tied down, but we have an interface that would be used to do like home recordings. And so we run 2 channels out into that, so it's stereo sound, and then run a USB to USB cable, and then I have a USB lightning adapter to put it into our iOS device that we use. So the interface, there's companies like Steinberg and Personas that have really nice ones, and you can just get their beginner level ones that are probably around $100. It totally makes it worth it. There's some other brands out there that I've used as well, but these 2 really will hold up long term. So I would recommend getting one of those. So at audio, that's going to be your most important part. So I really put some focus and energy into that. The second part is your video. It's really tricky because there's a lot of different places that you could stream your service. We have decided to use Facebook from the very beginning. We started with one device, and it was this iPad, and we just did a live stream of our service with that one camera angle. Well, now we're using an app that's very affordable, and it allows us to have multiple camera angles set up in the building. And I use iPhones, iPods, and iPads, and I'll use 4 to 5 camera angles. And even doing it with a smaller setting where we're doing just an online service, it's worked really, really well. And really excited about the next few weeks as we try to make it better a little by a little each week. There's lots of different apps and websites and ways that you can produce your video. Facebook is great. The only holdback to Facebook is that you can't do high definition, 1080 pixels, 4K on Facebook. It doesn't allow it on their end, but it's free and it's very reachable. You don't have to be on Facebook to access it, and Facebook even keeps an archive of all your videos posted, so it's right there, which is great. If you have questions about that, you can reach out to me as well, and I'll provide my contact info here in a minute. The third part about all of this, so on your audio and video, is your licensing. It's really important to have licensing and permission to use music that you're going to use in your services. A lot of people have a CCLI license, but that only covers aspects of what you're doing here in the room. CCLI has an additional license just for streaming and podcasts. So you're going to want to get that one if you're going to be doing the streaming of your services, of any music. And that license still doesn't cover everything you might do in worship. We have a third license at our church that's called One License for their streaming services, and it seems to cover a lot of different music that we will do in worship that the CCLI does not. So whether you have choir anthems, or you have instrumental music, or soloist singing, or if you're doing contemporary worship with the band, that's just some of the options out there. That's what we have found works for us. We do traditional worship, but we do a lot of different types of music, and so it's worked great. So don't forget to do that. It's not very expensive, and especially in these days where many people are depending on streaming, I think there's some resources available within your congregations, hopefully, to make that work. It's not expensive. Look into it online, and they'll do like an annual renewal subscription with each of those companies that I mentioned. So I hope this video will help you. If you have any questions, my email here at the bottom of the screen is sound, then the word @ccc@gmail.com. Again, my name is Chris. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Take care.